What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to what I'm hoping to be the final video of this Ruby's DL44 Han Solo blaster build modification kit bash, whatever the hell you want to call it. This fucking thing. So now we're getting ready to paint. Since the last time you saw it, I did finally fill this little gap in here, and I need to, it's finally cured, and I'm going to sand it and make that look nicey nice. Another thing I did was I added a little screw detail to the grips. I wish my goddamn cell phone would focus. But either way, they're there, and I had a little bit of extra. There we go. Hey, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I had a little bit of extra milliput left over, so I decided to add those little details and hope that they stay on there. I literally just popped them on there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the whole blaster, of course, after smoothing that out. Look for trouble spots. I might actually touch up a few spots with this in trouble areas I don't think my spray can will get to. Just in case. You never know. But speaking of paint, it's been really wet outside. We've been getting a lot of rain and or snow for the past month. So paint curing's probably going to take a little bit longer than I anticipate. But either way, what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with some Rust-Oleum. This is both a primer and a base coat. And it bonds really well to plastic. I would normally prime something like this. But this actually I've found in the past works really well with this type of plastic. So either way, we're going to hit it with this. Give it some proper cure time. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this chrome. Maybe in here before I weather it itself. Let me give this thing a once over. Work out any trouble spots that I may have missed between the beginning and now. Get this in an enormous box out in the porch. And get spraying. Alright, wish me luck. First coat is on. Let that dry for a little bit. Finally, some paint. Alright guys, it's been about 3 or 4 days since I sprayed some paint on this thing, and it's ready to go. This weather has really been killing me as far as painting projects, but regardless, we're there, and now it's time to give it the finesse and finishing touches. Wow, I can't even speak. Not enough coffee. So a few things to note. While it was curing, apparently this peeled off while it was stuck to something. But that's okay. We're going to be painting this into like a wood grain. Maybe I can incorporate that into a couple of dents in the wood or something. That would be pretty cool. A few parts I'm not happy with. I don't know if you can see it, but right here is not the cleanest. But overall, it looks the part. I think it looks all right. I wish I had just taken a little more care and time into it. But at that point, I was just so frustrated this thing wasn't done. I just let it go. And same with up here. But you know what? What can you do? Maybe I could just incorporate that into some of the weathering. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scuff up certain spots so I can get a more matte finish. And then we're going to do some dry brushing of silvers and what have you. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to hit this with a chrome paint. I'm kind of digging this. I might just do little touches here and there where the paint wore off. We'll get to that, apparently, when we get to that. Now, as far as the scope is concerned, I actually think that looks pretty cool. I did end up painting over the plastic thing. And even though, I mean, you're not going to be able to see through the scope anyway, but I think as long as I leave that alone and leave it glossy like that, it looks the part. Now, as far as the front of the scope, I kind of wish I hadn't done that as far as I had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make that a little more flush and, yeah, just try to make it look a little bit better. And if I have to just touch it up with a little paint like that, of course I would. You know, you see a little chip here. That's all right. This is going to be all brass anyhow. So, regardless, all the little crimes will be hidden. And overall, I think it looks the part. I think it's pretty cool. And I can't wait to finish the fucking thing. Now, you notice there's certain areas that are still a little scuffy. I did not pay any attention to those for 2 reasons. 1, because I got lazy. And 2, I knew those were areas that I was going to be dry brushing some worn paint anyway. So I thought that would also help with the look, so I left it alone. So let me get to some dry brushing, debate on whether or not I'm going to paint this, because if I paint this, it's going to be another 4 or 5 days for the chrome to completely cure. That chrome paint takes longer than this stuff does, and this took forever because of the weather. So either way, let's get out our metallic paints. Let me scuff this down, and we'll get it going. Then I got to worry about this disc. I keep forgetting about this disc. I get the first couple passes done. It's really easy to go overboard with this stuff, so you just gotta be careful with that. But the good thing about that is you can always go back and touch it up with black, and I'm about to do that here on this side. Haven't really done anything on this side yet, but I'm going to work it side by side. And yeah, that's really it. And, you know, one of the things I like to do, I know I'm not really doing much of a tutorial here, but I figure what the hell, I'll give you a little bit of a tip. Like in this area here, what I like to do is dry brush a little bit of silver, just enough, just to touch it, you know, just to give it that idea of a little bit of paint worn. And once that dries, then just hit it with straight paint on the edges. I think it gives it a more natural, worn look. This little detail here, I saw that on a couple of reference pictures. I got to touch it up a little bit. Where that part there was all silver. I think I'm second guessing that. I think I'm going to go back in there with some black and touch it up, because I think with some of the worn dry brushing here, it's not jiving, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, we got the first half somewhat done with silver anyway. A few touch-ups, then I'll do the other side. Alright, so I got most of the silver dry brushing done. I'm not exactly happy with how it's coming out, but we can always touch that up after the fact. But we're pressing forward. I did the brass accent pieces. Now it's time to make the handle look like wood. Give it a woody. And yeah, so I got it all taped off, and probably just going to start with a dark brown. Dry brush a little light brown on it, give it a black wash. And then we'll make this screw here look nice and silvery. And hopefully that'll be good enough for government work anyway. And here it is, guys, all finished and put together, painted, sealed, signed, and delivered. Now, there are a few things on here I'm going to have to revisit down the line, but I'll be honest with you, I'm so sick of looking at this thing, I'm going to call it done for now. So, what we ended up doing was we ended up cutting off the scope, moving it over about an inch to the right, painted it up. To the silver accents, I painted the handles brown. I know you can't see it too well in this light. I actually used burnt umber, and then went over it with a wash of actual brown with a little bit of black inside of it. Used a couple of just little kit bashing greebly thingies for my bin all around. And yeah, so that's the final product. I'll try to put a couple of pictures at the end for you so you can see it better. And overall, I think it turned out okay. There's a few things I think I need to revisit on this thing. Like the end of the scope. I think that's all fucked up. And I think I want to redo the grips. But overall, I am happy with it. I'm just happy it's somewhat done. So guys, thanks as always so much for watching. Go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. And you know what? I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Before I sign off completely, let me go get something. This is pretty cool. I can't wait to start on this one. Now, if you're following me on Instagram, you've already seen a hint towards this. This here, probably closer to, if not just after the holidays, is going to be my next weapon project. It's going to be a 1911 45 long slide with laser sighting, made famous in the original Terminator flick. My buddy Mike of Irmo Custom Models 3D printed all of the laser sighting, the extended muzzle, all the little bits and bobs for it, and sent it my way to build. So I can't wait to get started on this one, and I hope you're excited to see it too. So guys, like I said, thanks as always so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, until next time, take care, keep it real, and bye-bye. Hey guys, one last thing before I sign out and show my Name That Riff. I wanted to give a huge thank you to Mike of Irmo Custom Models. Not so much for hooking me up with that 1911 to build the Terminator 45 long slide with laser sighting, but mostly for his encouragement and his advice in this build. He is what I would call a professional blaster builder. He builds DL44 blasters in all of its incarnations for different characters and movies and situations. And, you know, this guy on the way to the bathroom dropped it during the set, and it has this ding and dent. And this guy's work is amazing. You've seen the video. I'm showing you some of his work. And you can purchase his stuff through the Force forums, whether it be on Facebook or the website. I'll put the link to that down below. But when you have a master builder like that encouraging you and giving you positive words, it means a lot. So, Mike, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And, guys, go check out the Force forums. A lot of great stuff over there if you're really into collecting and cosplay and Star Wars stuff. So, with that said, on to the Name That Riff. Name That Riff.